It's a Wednesday, so we get to hear from Shane Steichen, and as you would guess, he's very positive about his 2-1 football team. Colts taking on the Rams this weekend, so we had a chance to hear from him about Aaron Donald, and then got some flowers for Zack Moss, Kwity Paye, Zaire Franklin. A lot of the guys doing a lot of the heavy lifting for the Colts, Michael Pittman Jr. too. But first, he kind of clarifies sort of where Anthony Richardson and Ryan Kelly are.
All right, I'll start just with Anthony and Ryan Kelly. They're both in the protocol still, but they're expected to practice today.
Will Anthony take all the normal starting reps?
Yeah.
What have you kind of learned about your defense as we've gone on in the last couple of weeks? I mean, they had some personnel, so you knew that, but just what have you learned from seeing them in action?
Just that they play together. I mean, that's the biggest thing I've noticed, that all those guys, you can see them in practice, in the meeting room, the bond they have together. I mean, when you're connected, you're committed, and that's what those guys are on defense, and they're playing their tails off, and we got to continue that trend.
I mean, what's the challenge with Aaron Donald? I mean, it's probably pretty obvious. But...
Yeah, it's a big challenge. We got to know where he's at. Obviously, 3-time defensive MVP, first team All-Pro. One of the best to ever do it at his position. So, we got to have a plan for him, know where he's at all times, and not let him wreck the game. It's the biggest thing.
Is that pretty rare to have an interior defensive lineman where you consciously are like, we have to know where he's at every snap?
Yeah, it's rare. There's a few of them in the league, but he's the one that's. They line him up all over the place. Like I said, we got to have a great plan for him.
One other defensive question: your interior guys, Grover and Buck. I mean, they were saying after the game, like they're not getting a lot of action in some cases because they're just staying away from him. What do you think it's like the game plan for those guys?
I mean, probably on the flip side of that, it's hard. Those two guys, same type of deal. I mean, they're hard to block. They take on double teams, and then they create those spaces for our linebackers to go make plays. So both those guys are really impressive players, and glad they're on our team.
Shane, what have you seen from Zaire Franklin, his ability, how he's really taken this defense in a leadership role?
The one thing I've noticed about him since I've been around him is just his relentless pursuit to be great. I mean, he's in this building all day, every day. The way he practices with great energy and effort. You practice how you play, and he practices hard every single time, and he goes out and he makes a ton of tackles. He's always in the right spots. He diagnoses formations, run tells, all those different things, and it shows up, and he's a heck of a football player.
Shane, I know it's early, obviously, in the season, but your team is in first place in the AFC South, and you've dealt with some injuries. What does that say about what you're seeing from this team? What does it say about them as well?
Yeah, no, it's a huge credit to those players that go out there and put it on the line, and it starts in these meeting rooms and on this practice field, and it just shows the effort that they're playing with. A credit to them, a credit to all the position coaches and the coordinators getting those guys ready to go. And it is early in the season. It's a good start, but there's a lot of work to be done.
What sticks out about the way Matt Gay approaches his job?
Gosh, he's like a smooth operator. I mean, he's smooth. I mean, he works, he goes out there, he goes through his routine in practice. He's always on it, obviously, with Rigo and Luke, with the snaps, preparing for those, game situations that come up like they did on Sunday. They practice their tails off, and it pays off.
What was Anthony's engagement level like during the game? Obviously, coaching the game, we always like having him on the sidelines, and maybe what is the benefit that he maybe gained from just seeing?
Yeah, no, it was huge to have him there on the sideline, to see that. He was definitely engaged. He was excited when we were scoring and making plays, and then obviously being around the quarterbacks, in between series, talking through things and learning that way was huge.
Shane, with Matt Gay, when you've got him, does it alter the way you call plays, aggressiveness when you get around midfield, or do you can't say, well, we got a 50-yard
Yeah.
field goal. I mean, that's would be bad.
That's a good question. I think the flow of the game and how it's going will dictate those situations. Obviously, he can kick and make kicks from long distances, and it depends on the score. Is it a low-scoring game? Do we need the points? Shoot, are we down by 14 in that situation where he could make it, but we need to go for it? So the game will dictate those situations around midfield.
I saw a video today where Pitt said that you dubbed him an enforcer. Can you explain what went into that decision? Is that something that was just to him, or you give all these guys a different?
Well, I just think Pitt kind of sets the tone for that receiver room. he's our kind of, the reason he's the enforcer is just because, like, he's the force blocker guy. He goes in and he makes those big time blocks. Sometimes we have him on the edge, you know, blocking D ends with tight ends, and then also, you know, just his ability to fight, scratch, and claw in the pass game to get open and make contested catches. That's what he does, and very thankful to have him.
When you have your top producing receiver doing stuff like that and getting, you know, dirty in the run game, what does that do just for the rest of the position players?
I think it's huge. I mean, when you got a guy that does the dirty work, I mean, those guys get rewarded for doing those type of jobs, and that's what he does. And like I said, he's the tone setter for that position group. He's been playing at a high level these first 3 weeks, and we got to continue that.
Shane, how did Zack Moss feel on Monday after a pretty good work?
He felt good. He felt good. I mean, shoot, he ran hard with 30 carries. He felt good. He feels good today. Shoot, looking forward to this weekend with him.
I know overtime obviously plays into a number. Reaching 30, is his workload sustainable, or do you want to get others?
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. He's running hard. As long as he can take it, he can take it, and then we'll see how that goes.
How do you
Speaking
kind of
of
balance
Zack-
that with feeding the hot hand, though? Like with the committee as well?
Yeah, no, again, those conversations, DeAndre Smith, our running back coach, does a heck of a job on the sidelines, just kind of feeling the pulse of him also, and, you know, and Trey and Funk, to see where they're all at. And then, you know, if he needs a blow, we'll rotate him, and we'll go from there.
Sticking with Zack, what stands out to you from what you're seeing from him in the football field?
Gosh, he just makes tough, you know, gritty runs. You know, I mean, there's a couple plays, I think I mentioned it after the game, just, you know, he had one where we ran an outside zone and Clowney came off the edge to chase him down. He broke that tackle, and then he broke 2 more to get 8 yards. And it was like, that's rare to see that. But a credit to him and the way he runs with low pads, his physicality, and then he's just got a great natural field vision, like the stretch cut plays and being patient, pressing the hole, right, and then seeing those backside cuts to get that. You know, in the overtime one, same deal, he pressed it on the outside zone. You know, we had Pitt on the backside, did a little bluff, and then boom, he saw the crease and hit it, you know, to get us in field goal range. So plays like that are huge when a back like that has really good vision.
Shane, coming off 2 wins, back-to-back hostile road environments. Not that you're looking too far ahead, but you do have a stretch this month. 4 of the next 5 are going to be home games.
Yeah.
How much do you reinforce capitalizing on an opportunity for that many games, a critical stretch of this season, to be within Lucas Oil?
Yeah, no, it's huge, obviously, to have that stretch, but we just got to focus really on this week. This week is key. It's critical. You know, the first 3 weeks, you know, are done, and we got to put it in the rearview mirror and move on. But I know that our fans are going to be ready to roll come Sunday. They'll be fired up. It'll be loud in there. We can't wait for it.
You said
Last one here.
Quentin Payton, 3 sacks per game, obviously more than just a sack.
Yeah, the same thing with all those guys, just the effort that he plays with and the way he rushes the passer in the run game. He's setting the edge well. He's playing at a really high level. I mean, all those guys, they're playing as one. That unit right now is playing as one, and we got to continue that trend. And again, credit to Nate Ollie and Matt Raish getting those guys ready to play every week, and Gus putting them in position to make plays.
That's Shane Steichen, and you know what? You got to go through the protocol, and that means you go through a practice, and then you're evaluated by an independent neurologist, and so that's got to happen. That's why these guys are still in the protocol. Don't get it twisted. They are still on track to play on Sunday, but right now they're in the protocol. Shane Steichen, very positive about his team. That happens when you got a winning record.